welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you saw on the title, today we're going to be doing a very requested look. Is the Nun from the Conjuring 2. Scary movie. I haven't watched it yet. I don't know if I'm ready to watch it. But today we're going to be doing the Nun. Yeah, with all the eye effect and all of that. I create the costume effect painted, but if you wanted to dress up like this character, you may wanted to buy a costume or something like that, and this part maybe you skipped it and just focus on the face. So let's do this Nun for the Conjuring 2, very scary movie and character. So the first step is to apply a thin layer of this pale makeup look, this product. This is a wet makeup by Makeup Forever and the shade is Evony. And I'm going to be applying on one part of the sponge and blend it with other sponge, which is no product in it. And it looks really nice and integrated into the skin. This is a little lighter than how it looks when it dries out. I'm going to be applying also a little bit on the neck. So once it dries out, it gets a little bit too dark to the effect that I want it to. So I'm going to be applying a second layer. And as you can see, this product, it really holds on the second layer and it gives me that really complete cover and white effect or pale effect I want on the skin. Now I'm going to move to create the costume. I'm going to be swapping to a white cream aqua color, and I wanted to use the pale one on the skin. Even the makeup it has from the character is really white, because I wanted to see different between the painting that I'm doing in the body and the rest of the face. So I'm using Kyrolan, a painting in aqua color in white, and I'm going to be creating the shape of the costume. And because it doesn't really cover completely, I'm going to be adding a second layer. As you can see, I create a completely straight line on the neck and a kind of curve once it gets to the shoulder, because I wanted to add a black in this area so we see both of the shades on the effect. So I'm going to be taking now a black cream aqua color, also by Kyrolan, and add it on the borders or the shoulder. I left it with no product. And also I'm going to apply a little bit on the chest area that you can see here. I'm going to go ahead and use the same aqua color in black to create the darkness of the eyes. I'm going to start applying a quite thick layer and then just in tapping motion with a blending brush around the borders of this black, I'm going to be just smoothing it out just a tiny bit. But don't worry if it doesn't look perfect. This doesn't meant to be looking perfect, but that gives me a nice base for what I'm going to be doing later on. I'm going to repeat the same process on the lip area. Now I'm going to be taking the same color I used on the face and just brush my eyebrows with it. That will give me a very kind of nude effect on my eyebrows and no need to cover them. And once they dry out, they even out the skin shade or the shade that I applied. Now I'm going to move to the cream colors. Very soon next week I'm going to be uploading you a video specifically on how to use it and why to use cream colors or oil-based colors. But for now I'm going to be using a purple shade with an upper bristle brush, a blending brush, and just apply it randomly around the areas of the face. That will give me kind of a bad skin looking effect, what I'm looking for. Also I'm going to be using the same shade to contour the tiniest bit under the cheeks, just to give a little bit of illusion or even butter the skin. Now I'm going to be start creating a little bit of veins, but before that, remember what I said about the eyes, that I'm going to be doing something later on. So now I'm back here. I'm going to be taking the cream colors in black, and in some of the areas I'm going to kind of make it a little sharper. I'm going to let it show a little bit through the blending I did previously, but in some of the areas I'm going to just kind of create sharper shape, and the combination of both blending and the sharper shape, it will give me a bit more of a dimension of deepness in this area. That is exactly what I'm looking for. Once I'm done, I'm gonna be back once again to the veins. So I'm using the same previous color, the purple one, and then I'm gonna be taking just randomly veins here and there. I'm gonna be doing veins that go from the eyebrows, from the eyes. They are around the forehead, around the cheeks, and everywhere. And as you can see, in some of the areas, I'm just going to take the blending brush I used previously and just blend it a little bit, just not in all of them, just in some of them, to give a little more different effects. Some of the areas we actually need to have a little more detail added into is around the lips and also around the nose. It's very important to add a little bit of these veins around the nose. And also I'm going to be adding, as I was saying before, not just from the eyebrows up to the forehead, also from the line of the hair, the growth of the hair, down to the forehead also. And the neck is adding more veins also necessary. And the last thing is swapping a little bit to black, and here you have to be careful because we don't want to go overboard with them. I'm going to be adding just a few of them around the mouth and blend it, also around the eyes, and also I'm going to darken the hollows of my, or the holes of my nose, my nostrils, and I'm going to be also enhancing these nostrils. So I'm going to be creating a dark shade in black, and they kind of create the feeling of a wider hole, a wider nostril, and this will create a more realistic looking effect. The character has this kind of very pointy nose. Now we are gonna be back to the uniform just to give a little shading. I'm gonna move to a khaki green kind of shade, the one that I use normally to create the shadings. So I'm gonna start by lining the upper part of this color from the costume or from the dress and blending toward the skin to create the effect of the shadow on the skin. Then I'm gonna do a second ring, I'll lead it down just to create the effect of this color that has. And then I'll start adding some shadings here and there. This shading will give us a little bit more reality effect on the actually folds that the clothes may have when you wear them. One of the most important parts of shading in this area is around the neck. You need to give a little bit of dimension. It's too flat right now. So I'm going to be adding shading on the outer parts of this color and leaving the central part without shading, and that will give a dimension. A little bit of detailing with a little black in some of the areas. And now it's time to create the cross. I'm going to be creating a kind of necklace or kind of a rope that goes all the way from the sides of the neck to the central of the chest. Here I'm going to be creating a cross, just a thick black cross. And then to give a little of a more realistic effect to this cross, I'm going to be taking back the khaki green shade and adding some shadings around the collar and the necklace and also the cross. But make sure you do it on the same size just to make it right the shadings. If you're wearing costume, you don't need to do all of that, but anyway. So last touch is going to be the eyes. I'm going to be taking aqua colors, they dry out. So I'm going to be creating it with the yellow, a dot in the center of the black eye I create. Make sure you use these colors because once they dry, they don't move. And then I'm going to be adding a little bit of the pupil in black and also a little bit of white as a highlighter. Going to leave it to get dry and do the other eye, and we are done. Last touch is just to add in a black piece of fabric around my face just to create this part of a non-costume. But if you're wearing actually a non-costume, you don't need all of these steps, neither the dress. But well, if you don't, you have another way to do so. So this is it. I hope you enjoy this longer version of editing, more explained.
Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this makeup tutorial. I'm gonna leave the list of products that I used to create this look, as always, on the bar below, next to a ton of all the makeup tutorials that you may find interested to watch. Here you have the direct link to subscribe to my special effects channel, which is this one. There you have the previous tutorial and my social media. I would appreciate if you give thumbs up to this video if you liked it, and share it on your social media so more people can enjoy it. And as always, thanks so much for spending some time with me. Be happy and see you next one. Bye.